This call.
Welcome to the Real Estate Deal Lab. Dun, 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 dun. Today is Deal Wednesday. We might as well just call it Deal Wednesday because that's what it is when you're in the Real Estate Deal Lab. We're talking about deals. So today is a very, very, very special webinar because I'm going to talk a little bit about the deals I'm working on, but also I'm going to share some amazing sites that you can go and get cheap properties today. That's what I'm talking about. Today, you can go and get them, right? And I am not going to hold back. I'm telling you right now, it's exciting. It's exciting, exciting stuff. All right. Who am I? I'm Nathaniel, real estate investor for 10 years, more than 10 years now. I do everything from fix and flip, new construction, buy and hold. So that means I hold some rentals. I have mobile homes, anything subject to, and love those. Anything that you can think of in real estate, buying at auctions, buying upside down foreclosures, all of that I've done, and I love real estate, right? And what you're here to do is learn a bunch of skills in order for you to do real estate in any market. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if the interest rates are high. There's still deals to be made. Doesn't matter if the properties are too expensive. It doesn't matter. As long as you know how to create terms and create an opportunity, you will be solid in real estate. Okay. So first things first, I have a few things I want to go over here. Short story. We're working with two sellers right now. Super excited. Beautiful property in Orlando, Florida. And we're obviously getting it at a good discount. And again, it's always about your relationships. Please, we have to, as a people, perfect our relationships and also our communications. Now, you're never going to get it 100% right, but once you're learning skills, right, it's like a gym. It's working that muscle, all right? Every day that I work out, I think about, hey, am I working out my education? Am I working out my communication? Am I working out my mindset? So these are the things that you have to be working on every single day. And that's also why you're in the Real Estate Deal Lab communities, because that is where the value is. That's where the real value is. Okay. So like a gym, building that communication and that rapport. I talked to some folks that I hadn't talked to in some time, and they said, hey, listen, I know somebody that's going through some issues that they just don't want the house anymore. They already have a house and they're ready to move on. And they already have an idea of what they want. So I said, wait a minute, let me go and see. So I went, saw the property, loved it, great location, and great price. Again, these are everywhere, okay? Last week I did one. This week I'm doing another one. They're everywhere, okay? It's just that you have to keep looking and also communicating what you want, okay? Also, I'm looking at a fourplex in Texas. I'm super excited because I'm getting that one at a discount. Definitely have to go in there and take a look because I don't know how it looks on the interior, but they already have the price and it's been sitting on the market. So I know there's some wiggle room. Okay. There's always a wiggle room when it's sitting on the market and the seller is motivated to sell. They had the property sitting for 2 years. So you already know that it got to be at a discount. Okay. Another thing I look for is that around the property has a lot of amazing new construction. That means the values are about to go jumping high. So this might be beat up now, but it ain't going to be for long. Okay. So those are some of the amazing stuff we got going on. I'm wrapping up a few other properties and projects. So I'm super excited to talk about where and what sites to go on to find deals. That's what it's about. Okay. Now, you heard me talk about, if you've been following this channel and you've been in the Real Estate Deal Lab community, I always talk about going to the clerk of courts, property appraiser. Those are great sites to go to, right? They share a lot of information. And again, they can also tell you who's in distress or not. Okay. Whether they're distressed because the bank is foreclosing, or they got liens and code enforcement, or they're always evicting tenants, right? Property appraisers, similar. A lot of the property appraisers, especially where in my county, have all of the key codes that says, hey, this is a fire damage, or hey, this is not suitable for occupancy. So look out for those things. Those are the key gems that you want to go through. Okay, you want to start with your clerk of courts, but you also want to jump into the property appraiser because sometimes the gems are right there as well. All right, so now we're going to jump into other sites, which I'm super excited about. So you need to look at Zome. Some people say home, but it's Zome. It's Xome. Zome has amazing, amazing properties. I'm going to pull up, and you're going to, if you're in the Real Estate Deal Lab, you're going to get all the links to all of the sites, but I'm giving it away right here because that site has plenty of properties that are going through foreclosure that are being sold, and you can reach out and negotiate and bid on these properties. Okay, so again, free. Okay, free. Anyone can do this in any place, right? So when you're online, just look up Zone. Another one is Home Path. I'm going to take it slow because I want to make sure that everyone gets their little pens and papers and start writing them down, because that is the game right there. Home Path is great because, again, they have properties that are going through foreclosures, they're going through issues, and you can also find their realtors or brokers that have a link to these things, right? So that's where you build that connection. And before they even hit this, they might give you a little game. You understand what I'm saying? So make sure you have that in mind, okay? All right, so we have Zome, we have another one I'm going to share right now, right? And that one is very, very good, okay? So we have Zome, we have HomePath, we have Gov Deals, right? Gov Deals is legendary, okay? Because not only can you get cars and boats and jewelry and this, that, the other, but you can get houses, you can get land, you could get mobile homes all on govdeals.com, okay? So I'm going to pull that up and we're going to definitely go through one right now. I want to see it because I love looking at these deals, okay? Super stuff, all right? GovDeals has, let's see how many properties they have now. Let's just put in land. So there's a search button up top and it has land. They always have land for sale. Okay, let's pull that up. Yep, land. They have land in California. They have land in Ohio. They have land in Florida. They have 428 results just for land. Now, not everybody's going to be able to buy it immediately, right? So you have at least one or two properties you can get on Gov Deals. That's right, Gov Deals. All right. So again, land. Now I want to look up houses, right? So we're going to pull up and look up houses because I love houses. I love buildings, houses, anything real estate. Okay. So we're going to look up houses. Let's say houses. So this one has 499 results of houses. Okay. And one is already a mobile home and it's 4,500. Looks pretty good. Enclosed trailer. They have a house for 19,000. That's in Illinois, right? Arkansas. All these little places. And again, you can pull those little sites. They give the address. They give the person that you want to talk to. All of it. All the game is there. All right. So again, I love this. I mean, I could do this all day. I do this all day because we love deals. Okay. So a lot of these houses all over Illinois, all over Ohio, they're all being sold for under $20,000. And if you look at one of them, I just looked at, it's close to Chicago. So what you can do is rent, refinance. So you bought it at 12,000, you can refinance it at 50. So that means you could take out some equity, get it all nice and cleaned up. These are nice houses, actually. These are decent. Get it all cleaned up, and then take out 40,000 and leave, some money there. And do it again. Buy another one. 500 houses on Gov Deals as we speak right now. And again, plenty of them are not in bad shape. This is a single family. We have a few single families. We have container houses. That container house is going for, well, it didn't meet the reserve, but under $5,000. Legendary. All right. So again, I love looking at these. These are three amazing, amazing, amazing sites. And I think we have a couple more. All right. Yes, we do. And this one is amazing. So people say, oh, I don't know how to wholesale. Oh, I don't know how to do this. And that's why you're joining the community. You have to be in a real estate deal lab community, because a lot of times you can get one of these deals. You'd be like, hey, listen, I know this area very well in Illinois. I know what it could rent for, but I don't know. I don't have the capital, or I don't have the credit, or I don't have the, I don't have the manpower. I don't have the handyman. I don't have the contractor. And that's why you're in a community, because somebody in the community, aka me or somebody in the team, can find all of that for you, right? And we partner and do the deal. That's what it's all about, right? And then suddenly you have properties, and now you know the system. Now you know how to hire a contractor, how to, pay for repairs, how to also do repairs, how to get the right team, and then also how to rent it, how to Section 8 it. Everyone's buzzing about Section 8, but they're not going to Gov Deals to get the land and houses on it. Beautiful. You do, because now you know. And now you're not going to be able to unknow, because it's in your head. GovDeals.com, look up houses. HomePath, look up houses. Zone, look up houses. We're going to give you another one right now, all right? So this one is super amazing. So the Department of Treasury, they auction off IRS lien properties. And I have seen some amazing properties. I'm talking about like brand new construction bills on this site. So I called the folks, and I'm actually going to see if I could get one of them on the line next time we do this live, because they were the ones that told me, no, we just asked for the deposit, and 30 days later you can close. I said, what? So that means that if my deposit is only $5,000, it takes me a certain amount of time to go get other monies. I still have this property basically under contract, and I can partner with people and make money on this type of deal. See how this works? Right? Amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. All right. So as we're looking at it right now, and again, I'm going to do a little tutorial so you can understand how to use these sites. It's all about understanding how to use these sites, because if you go on there, sometimes it's too much stuff, or the websites are clunky, which Zome is sometimes clunky, but it's getting a little bit better still. Okay. Let's see another one. I'm about giving the game. I don't know if you hear it. I love giving the game. All right, the game is for you, because you're tuned in, you're here watching it, you want the information, so I have to give you the right information, and it has to come from the sources, right? So now we went through 1, 2, 3, 4 sites. Now I have another one, the 5th site. 5 sites to make your millions. Take your generational wealth by the horns. All right, the horns. HUD Home Store. Beautiful site. Beautiful site. Beautiful site. Let's say, for instance, I want to have a house in Florida. It has the location where you can look up and say, okay, I want a house in Florida. Now, I'll be honest, some of the HUD Home Stores properties might be a little pricey, but that's why you got to learn the market, okay? Once you learn the market, you can be able to identify. Daniel, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining in.
Yeah, no doubt. I had to check you out, man.
Oh, man, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I'm just giving the game. I'm going to give you a quick summary. So today we're talking about 5 sites that you can go and get cheap properties on, and you could either buy them cash or fix and flip them. You can hold them as rentals, or you can do what I like to do a lot of times, you could even wholesale them. There's a strategy for everything. Okay. So the
Yeah,
first site we talked about is Zome. So I'm going to give you some time because you might want to write these down. Okay.
I got you.
All right. So the first one is Zome, XOME.com. And the next one is GovDeals, GOVDEALS. All right.
GOV.
Yep. GOVDEALS. GovDeals.
Okay.
Right. And I'll shoot you in the community. It will have them there as well. But
Right.
another one called Treasury.gov. Okay. Treasury.gov has all the IRS seized properties, and you can get everything all the way in Puerto Rico, all over the 50 states. Okay. And then you have another one called HUD Home Store. So we were just talking about HUD Home Store. Uh, this is a great site, but sometimes the prices are a little higher. Okay, they got to be a little bit more negotiating, right? But again, if you know different areas and you're looking for, hey, I want to get a rental in this area and these property prices are cheap, let me go online on GovDeals. Let me go online on the HUD Home Store. And then that's easy to go on these sites and be like, wait a minute, I could get this house for 50,000. I can rent it out for, $1,000 a month. You're making money on that money. You get what I'm saying? So it's really good to know different areas and kind of have a scenario. That's why we love to do this real estate deal lab, where we analyze what your goals are and what you want to do and where you want to invest in, because that will teach you and share with you how to use these 5 sites in order to make that money. Okay. So we're going to go through the list here. HUD Home Store is another one. HUDHomestore.gov. Again, sites, it has houses all over the 50 states. Right now I'm looking in Florida, but I'm going to play around. Let's see what Texas is doing. I'm going to go visit Texas again. We got an amazing deal over there, quadplex. I'm getting for 200,000, but we're gonna get it cheaper because they had it vacant for 2 years, and there's opportunity there. So again, looking at the markets of where you want to be in, and then gauging how much you need to pay and how much you don't need to pay, because I want you to always get properties at a discount. That's what I do for a living. Get them at a discount, and then you have the exit strategy, whether you're going to keep them, turn them into your rentals, live in them, house hack them, rent it out to Section 8, whatever it is. Pull out equity and do it again so you can have more properties. All of these little concepts is what builds that generational wealth. And you don't have to do it with a lot of money or credit, because that's not what we talk about here. We talk about creating an opportunity where it kind of can fund itself. All right. So that's what it's all about there. Right now, I'm just going through this: Austin, Texas, El Paso, Texas, all on the HUD Home Store. So many sites. And what I like about it, you could also, they look like they just added this, because I didn't see this before. They added where you can actually put what you, or your max amount that you're looking for. So you don't even have to waste time. Say, for instance, I want a house for 10,000. Is there something else I can help with? No, you cannot help me. I'm just doing the live. So again, play around with these sites. I'm telling you, this is legendary stuff. Treasury.gov, I found amazing properties on there. And for that particular site, like I was explaining earlier, you have a down payment, but you don't have to pay it until 30 days. So you can find funding, you can find another buyer or partner within that time. And that's what the real estate deal lab is all about: partnering, creating these opportunities. So number one, you can create generational wealth, and also solid partnerships that make sense. So again, we have Zome, XOME, we have Fannie Mae's Home Path, we have GovDeals, we have US Treasury, we have HUDHomestore.gov. So these are all.
So that's the one I was missing. Sorry to cut you off. You said Fannie Mae.
Yeah.
Fannie
So
Mae.
it's
Home Pack?
home.fanniemae.com.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. So they have, there's a way to go on that site, and there's a way to find properties that they have, right, that are in foreclosure or already on the auction block, right? So that means you can get them at a discount. You got to talk to the person, you know, that's listed under there. They always have a realtor, or they always have a contact that you could talk to. Another one that I like to do, and I like to look for, again, we always talk about using the clerk of courts to find deals, the property appraiser to find deals. But again, these sites are amazing stuff. There's another site I'm trying to pull up now that I've looked at. Oh, so I'm going to just share it just like this. Each bank has an REO department. So that means REO means that they're going to repossess, or they already own these houses. So you can literally call these smaller banks and go after those lists. And they're very nice. A lot of times they will tell you right off the bat, hey, this is what we have. Bank of America, I went on Bank of America. They had a nice little REO site. I'm going to also link that. I'm just giving some bonuses. I'm throwing some bonuses out here, right? Because we're only going to talk about these 5 sites, these major sites. But like if we get down into the smaller ones, even legendary, because again, not a lot of people are going after these lists, right?
I'm
So
assuming
yeah,
just I'm assuming for that list and the houses on that list, you would have to put a higher percentage down in order to get those houses, correct?
no, it really depends. Okay. I'm pulling up the REO site right now. It really depends. A lot of times you're able to negotiate with their broker that's on there, and you can tell them they have to present the offer anyway to the bank. And that's how you really get a deal. So, are you going to get it for a steal? Sometimes, depending on the area, you can. Do you have to put a lot of money up? I would say before you put any money up, right? Make sure I go and analyze it with you, right? Because I like to make sure that it's completely clean and that you're going to win on this stuff, right? So there's no guarantee that you got to put a lot of money up, but you'd have to look at the deal that is coming in, because they're going to tell you what they want, right? They're going to say, hey,
Mhm.
this is the reserve amount. And you're going to be like, okay, well, that's too high. Oh, we have another person in the chat. What's up? Who is this? Who is this? Let me see. Let's pull down. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I couldn't see it there. But hopefully that answered your question, Daniel. Like
Yeah,
I said,
got
I like to look at Zone. I like to look at the treasury.gov, HUD Home Store, and a lot of the other REOs. They might be a little higher price, but they have to post it at a higher price, right? Because that's what they want to get. Not to say that they're gonna get it, right? That's how much they want to get. But everything, and this is something we should always put in our head, everything is left for negotiation. Okay? Everything is left for negotiation. Because at the end of the day, they have to sell these back. Like right now, I'm looking at one in Port Charlotte. So 189,000. Looks like a fairly nice house. It's featured here on the Bank of America REO site. It's definitely going to be able to do what we need it to do. So I'm also linked that one too. How do I share that? So look like they did a whole rehab and renovation. Michael Charles,
Yes,
welcome,
sir. Yes, sir. What's going on?
welcome, the man of the hour. All right, all right. Well, Michael, I'm gonna get you up to speed real quick. We just went over 5 sites that you can go and get cheap properties on and land on. We have Zome, we have HomePath, we have Gov Deals, we have Treasury.gov, we have HUD Home Store, and I just shout out Bank of America's REO department has a list. So I threw that out there because that's another additional. I like just throwing the game. It's just what it is. and we had some amazing questions that Daniel was. Hopefully, Daniel, did I answer that one for you?
Yeah. Yeah. I got it. Thanks,
Okay,
man. I appreciate it.
not a problem. Not a problem. Michael Charles. Michael
Yes,
Charles
sir.
does credit repair. He does even SBA lending stuff, which I gotta get on. I have to get on. You could use those funds for a lot of these type of investments. People don't know that, but there's ways to do it. Michael, what you want to do? Take it away.
I feel I don't want to mess up the flow because it seems like you was dropping gems already,
Oh
man.
man, I just love the game, man. This is what I love. I love this.
I hear you. I hear you. Okay. Yeah, sorry for coming too, so late, man. Next time you guys will see me in a little bit earlier, so I don't want to, make this a normal thing. So, um, if it's an opportunity to ask questions at this point, right? So, what is it that you guys are seeking right now? Where are you in your uh investor journey? Like, what is impacting? What credit challenges are you experiencing right now? And then, and any of those questions, man, I'm an open book. I'm going to be able to answer any questions that you guys have, and help you any way that I possibly can. Do you have any questions? Anything?
Daniel, oh, you have questions?
Nah, not right now. Right now I'm just listening, just trying to consume whatever knowledge you guys have to offer right now. If I do happen to have a question, I'll throw it out there like I did before. But right now, no.
Oh, okay, all right. So, Michael Charles, tell me some scenarios that you've been able to help people because, again, I've been hearing this thing about personal line of credit. Have you been stuff?
Yeah, well, personal line of credit, yes, for sure. So for me, just again, another introduction, Michael Charles, run a credit repair company, but I also help entrepreneurs and individuals leverage credit. So one key aspect about credit is that one thing about entrepreneurship is that a lot of people look for ways to gain capital, but there's opportunities to be able to use other people's money. And other people's money, I mean by the bank, right? And one quickest way to do that is credit, right? Because you can go into a bank today and walk out with $50,000 with just your credit score based off on how your profile is set, and those are opportunities that you can take advantage of to fast track your success in this process, fast track your success in your career and your dreams and your ambitions. So when it comes to personal lines of credit, that involves gaining, it's basically like having a credit card but having it in a direct relationship with a bank with it. So it's not directly physically on a card, it's money that you can just have right into your account, like a HELOC or any type of loan per se, whatever, right? But it's more so a limit that is given to you from the banks that can that you can just pull out of at any point in time.
So I'm an action person. So let me run a scenario right by you.
Okay.
And maybe that will get some of the juices going. We just saw some houses on Gov Deals. Everybody is govdeals.com, and they have, let me see how many houses. 500 houses. 499 right now because it looks like one just left us. 500 houses. Let's say 500 houses. A lot of the houses don't look bad. They're in Chicago. They have some houses in Illinois. It's not Chicago. It says Illinois. They have Flint, Michigan, of course, is always on the list. But they have a few that are in Illinois, and some of them are not in bad shape. So the ones that I'm looking at is going for about 14,000, right? Of course, there's going to be bidding up and what have you, blah, blah, blah. But if I said to myself, I'm looking at this specific area in Illinois, let me get a line of credit, 50,000, or let me find somebody in my network, the community, the real estate B Lab community. There's always somebody, right? Let me say, okay, let's go in and do this. Let's get 5 houses, and of course, everywhere in America right now, that rent is going to be able to pay off that HELOC every single month, or that credit every single month. Because if you got houses, right? Just say, for instance, they're just giving, I like low numbers. Let's say they're giving $700 a month,
Mm-hmm.
times 5. You good?
Yeah.
Talk to me, man.
Okay.
Talk.
So
That's the game, everybody. Okay, that's what you do. That's
two
why I get them at a discount. Now go ahead, talk to me.
two scenarios with that. So because the cash is not even that that much, you can actually, depending on where you're at with it, right? To be the way I would handle it, where it wouldn't impact my personal score, would be able to just get business credit cards to be able to liquidate those credit cards, pull that cash out since it's under $50,000, and buy the property, have them start generating income and pay down the credit cards with that. And the benefit of doing it under your business is that debt is not going to reflect on your personal. Business credit does not show at all as under your utilization, under your DTI or anything like that, as long as you have it associated with your business. And there's ways to create a profile to where you can go to the bank and get qualified for $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 credit cards. There are banks that offer that. Chase is one. As an example, they give you up to $50,000. Truist, they give you up to $25,000 in credit cards. It's just how you put in your application, right? So you say you're an action man, right?
Yes, sir.
There's let's see here. Give me a moment. Let me pull up a list right here. Bear with me. Let me do something for you.
I talked about this, so I know you have a list ready for my people.
Yeah.
So actually put that list in the Real Estate Deal Lab, because I think that is legendary. That list. People need to know where to go and not play with all the fluff. And that's what this is all about. I don't want no fluff. We're going to share the game with you so you can really, really start today. Okay?
Yeah. 100%. 100%. So let's say.
So quick question. So if you were to open like an LLC today, right?
Mhm.
Can you apply for a business credit card tomorrow, or does your business have to have a tracking record showing that it's bringing in
Nope.
revenue before you could do so?
No, not at all. You can leverage your personal history as a personal guarantee. So this comes with any credit card, any major credit card that you're trying to seek from any reputable bank. They will always pull your credit, no matter if I know you talk about business credit and everything else. In a time when you're trying to get like a lot of cash, your personal credit is what you want to leverage to get it. But you can get a LLC today, and tomorrow you can get funded as long as your profile is set in a position to where you're set to get qualified for, right? So so you do give me a second here. Let me give you guys something real quickly.
Feel like Mike is about to drop some game on me.
I'll give you a list of bankers that will. Bear with me here. Business credit tier. So if you have a 680 to 700 credit score, all you need is a minimum of a 680 credit score. And with a 680 credit score, you can get, there's some banks that will get you up to $10,000 in just credit. That's just business credit cards. And I'll also give you a list of where they actually pull from. Because another game too is, and not every bank pulls from all three credit bureaus, right? And this is something that people in my industry, they ended up doing, they call credit stacking, where you can actually pull your credit in multiple places and stack credit cards with it only showing up as one inquiry on your credit report, meaning that they'll pull in from each separate industry, 8 separate credit bureaus, the 3 separate credit bureaus, and then you can get 3 $10,000 credit cards, and it will only show up as one inquiry. One will not know the other because you're doing a horizontal what do they call that? Horizontal search for credit. versus a vertical, right? So if I go to 3 banks that pull all from TransUnion, they like if I after I pull from the first one, the second one's going to see that I already got money from this company, right? But if I go from a bank that only pulls from TransUnion, and then tomorrow I go to a bank that pulls from Experian, the one that pulls from Experian won't even see the transaction that occurred on TransUnion. So I think you're muted, Nathaniel. I don't know.
Somebody muted me.
The one that pulls from TransUnion, the one that pulls from Experian won't see what occurred with TransUnion, even if it was the same day, the day before, the month before. They'll never see that transaction. So it's just like a new pull on your credit report, and then you can basically stack multiple credit cards with with limited impact on your credit, and be able to stack cards and have multiple areas or multiple personal lines of credit, pretty much, because that's what a credit card is. Like I mentioned before, lines that you can pull from the bank directly, and you can do that with a credit card. You can pay your contractors with credit cards. You can pay your you can do a lot of work, especially being a business, doing it under your business. That gives you that flexibility to do so. And where it comes in line with this play that is very helpful is that you reach out to banks that do 0% interest for 12. They have a lot of banks that do for 6 months, 12 months, even 18 months, where you pay 0% interest on the money that you borrow from this. So as long as you use that credit card, you're able to get basically free money without paying any interest. And
we need that list, and in the deal out, we need that list.
I'm gonna give it to you right quick. As long as you are making revenue off of that money that you're borrowing, it makes all the sense, right? It's basically free money. It'll pay itself by that 12-month time frame or 18-month time frame, and when you're done, you can just do it all over again, get another deal, find another property, use your credit card to buy it again at 0% interest, redo it, and that asset becomes your asset using somebody else's money. You never had to put a dollar in the game.
So that means that if I got 15,000, bought this little house here that I'm excited about this little house, right? It's in Illinois. The rent is probably $800. I could be making $800 for 12 months without even having to pay a payment.
Without a dollar, out one single dollar, you can make $800. You can make $800 a month, and it'll pay for itself. And once your payments are done with that debt that you accumulated, it's all yours. That comes to your life. That comes free to you for the rest of your life.
Now, does the house have to be under the LLC too, or the house has to be under your personal name?
You can have it. I would prefer you under your LLC, but you can have it under whatever you can use. Once that credit card's in hand, you can use it for any business needs that you need for that business. So if the house needs to be under your personal name for you to acquire that business asset, then you can have it on your name. But it's always best to put it under your LLC.
Okay, got it.
I think you just gave me. I took some notes. I don't know who's taking notes, but I'm a note taker. I love to take the notes. I didn't know about the credit stacking, right? We use hard cash for these houses that we do. And one day I went to an auction and I saw one of the buyers, he was buying a property. I'm looking at 2 properties I was trying to buy, I'm bidding on them. And he just went up there and he just swiped his credit card. And then he came back down and sat down. And I said, so you just did the deposit? And he's like, no. I didn't want to go back, right? Because like when you're at the auction, especially the one in Titusville that I go to, you put your deposit, your 5% down, right? And then before 5 o'clock, you have to come and pay the whole thing in a cashier's check. He was like, no, I'm gonna do this. And then they said, oh wait, is this all coming? Are you doing the whole thing? He wanted to do the whole thing on his credit card. And I was like, man, he did the whole thing, It was just mind blowing to me. I was like, we hadn't seen that. So again, I'm interested in figuring out how to play this credit stacking game with this thing. Because you get a bunch of these cheap properties and you're Section 8ing them or you're renting them. 0 to 18 months, you can't beat that. Can't beat it.
0 to 8. Yeah.
I mean,
If you because when it comes to hard money, right? This is scenario hard
oh,
money.
I'm
You
off top.
you can get the money out. You're paying pretty much all interest at the beginning, right? And then it has to be a quick deal. You got to be in and out. And then on top of that, once you've already established, let's say you're doing repairs and everything, you have to be in a position to refinance. And if your credit is not in place to refinance, then you're kind of stuck with that. You're stuck with that all that interest that you're paying. So this is just another strategy to be able to get in with less I would say, less of a barrier in the sense of, having to pay a lot of money towards interest.
And then on top of that, what if the market changes? You know what I mean? The market changes. You thought the property was going to be worth a certain amount, and then you go to refinance it. Your credit could be good, and you just can't refinance it because the bank is, gun shy, because the values is not as prevalent as it was. I mean, that has happened to me. That has happened to countless investors. And that's why I always teach people, you have to have different strategies. Like as soon as we can't refinance it right now. Try us in a couple months. Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to rent that out and my house hack it. I got it at a discount. But if you didn't do that, then you're stuck with a huge mortgage that you're going to stifle yourself. So I like this game right here. I love this. This is good. Thank you, Mike. Michael Charles. What else you got for me, man? I'm greedy right now. We only have 5 more minutes, but I'm greedy.
I can go for days. Let's see, man.
First of all, I know you got to give us that list because I want that.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna drop the list I'm gonna give you the list so you can drop it into the real estate deal app. So you'll have it for everybody that has access there.
There you go.
You'll get that.
I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm just gonna shoot some questions off just because I'm interested in all this, and you guys have more experience than me. I know nothing. So what's the first thing you should look for, especially when you're investing in a property that's out of state? Something that you're unfamiliar with, that you're not gonna be able to check on every week or every month or something like that. What's the first thing you should look for?
Well, you definitely need to have somebody close, right? I always say you have to have boots on the ground, or at least a travel plan that you're going to be there quite a bit, okay? Until you get it set up. Now, when you have your contractor, your handyman, you have maybe a broker or realtor there, you can call any of these type of folks and then kind of set up that little network there, right? But then again, you have to trust them. So before you get out of state, really know that market, okay? Really know that market, right? Or, right, know the numbers. Like if I got a house over there in Houston for $10,000, I don't care what it's doing. It's going to do something. You get what I'm saying? That's why it's imperative to always get something at a very good discount. Right? Get it at a discount and have at least one person that's down there that you trust that can go and drive by and take a look.
Okay.
Right? There's also an app. It's called Lawn Starter. Right? A lot of properties, they get liens because they don't have tall grass because nobody's visited. Investors, we get busy. Okay? So we're not here to, we might forget about the 2 other houses because we don't live close to them. I would say get Lawn Starter. Lawn Starter is very cheap, right? I think it's like $12 to $46. They have one person that comes and cuts, and just start making friends and say, hey, listen, can you check on this for me every couple of weeks? Another thing is get somebody that is on the Uber Eats. Now, this is some strategy I learned from old school investor. He said, oh yeah, just order coffee. And the person that ordered the coffee, call them and say, hey, listen, get something that you want on the menu, whatever you want. And then they go to that address. Now, this is deep game now. They go to that address and check on it every now and again for you. Say, hey, I just need a picture. Because they do have to drop a picture, right?
Mhm.
When they drop it off at your door, they have to have a picture of, if you're not there, they have to have a picture. So again, that's another way that you can create that boots on the ground experience there while you're not there. And then again, property management first. If you could get a good one, again, you have to get a good one. Meet the people, right? Don't live on the hearsay of what they say on the internet. I don't even do that. I go and meet you in your face and I talk to you. You know what I'm saying? Because I make sure you know I'm serious, and I need to know if you're serious, right? Do you have my interest in heart, right? And that's another thing why I always say when you join the community here, right? I love to go and follow up on my people's stuff because that's exciting for me. You get what I'm saying? So having somebody in your network that is excited about it as you are, right? That is also the key. So hopefully I gave you a lot of different scenarios.
Yeah, definitely gotta have boots on the ground because a lot of time you'll go on Zillow or whatever website, and you'll see a good deal that out of state, but you don't know what it looks like. I mean, they're showing you pictures, but it's not doing it any justice. So, I mean, if you're experienced, I guess you could go off of that. But for somebody that's just starting out, that's why I asked.
I would, yeah, I'll cut you right there. I'm experienced and I still don't do that.
Okay.
I don't even mess around. The house that I'm getting, I just put on the contract today. I had to go. I went up there. I knew the neighborhood. It's a $500,000 neighborhood, right? It's an amazing townhouse in Celebration. I was like, yo, this is good. If I get it at this is what it is. I don't care. I still went up there. Still met the lady. Still walked.
Okay.
Because anything, people used to go on numbers, and that's how, they get messed up. Because you need to know what's inside that house at all times. You need to know what's inside that house, what's the market going to be doing in a year or two. You need to know what's the new developments that's happening. That's the key. Okay.
Would you say it's the same? You would need boots on the ground for lots as well, or
Lot is, so I bought a lot in Melbourne. I say walk the property, man. I can't stress. I mean, people, oh, I don't want to walk. You need to walk the property. You walk the property, that will teach you or share with you if there's a squatter on that.
Mm.
A lot of people are in the forest right now, right? Do you need to have that? That encumbers the property. So you need to really walk it, right? Yes, people get away with, not walking it and making a deal happen. But then when they go to the property, when that new buyer or whoever you sold it to goes to that property, and now you're in litigation. This is really a story that really happened. Right now you're in litigation because they didn't know there was something else on that property, and somebody has claim on that property, right? All because somebody didn't walk. I like to walk them all, right? Now, or have somebody I trust walk them.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So, and coming from me, I do this every day. I still walk them. I walk to my properties, and I know this being rehab done beautifully. Doesn't matter. I'm still gonna walk. I need to make sure my people is doing what they're supposed to. I need to have my eyes on it, right? Even if it's for 5 minutes. Hey, FaceTime me real quick. Also, another thing is use a realtor, right? They have an incentive as well, right? Say, hey, I'm an investor. I buy properties, and I'm about to buy a couple here. Can you take a look and just listen to what they say? Just don't say nothing. Listen to what they say. Listen to see if they're interested, right? They're excited their market, right? I don't want anybody that's going to be lazy. Being honest with you. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. It sounds good.
Yeah. So just you can call a broker, you can call a realtor in that local market. If they're active, they're going to tell you a lot of stuff, right? And they're going to give you some insight. Be like, nah, you shouldn't go that area. I was getting a property in Jacksonville. Let me give you a quick story. getting a property in Jacksonville. I was super excited. I was like, man, this is a duplex, man. This is great. At 75,000, I'm great. And the lady said, you know, hey, we have it, we have it listed. He's gonna take 75, but do you know the neighborhood? I said, nah. So she said, yeah, it's a little hood, Okay, I was like, all right, I've done hood, so I'm good. Then I called a store. I called a store that was like up the street from the place. The store owner or whoever was at the front answered the phone. And I said, hey, man, I see that you have amazing food here, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, I said, why are you closing in the middle of the day? And you hear what she said? She said, yeah, it's dangerous over here. I said, dangerous in Jacksonville like this? Said,
yeah.
And I was like, man, well, I would have had to pass that deal. We don't need to shoot somebody to get rent. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to die getting rent. So I had to pass that deal. But that's why it's good to call people and really get an idea. So yeah, that happens.
Oh, sounds good. Sounds good.
That was a good question, man. Keep them coming. You got another one? Let's go.
Hey, man, I told you I'll shoot whenever it comes to me.
We have 3 more minutes. 3 more minutes. I'm excited. Yeah, I know. Everyone's like, oh, yeah. I know. We didn't crunch the time. Mike, do you have any last words?
Right now, no, man. I'm actually listening to you, man. Like the pro at it, bro. You actually know your stuff with when it comes to real estate, especially doing that, because it can be daunting, like not knowing the facts, especially if you're trying to go out of state, right? But what you just dropped was a true game, man. I like it. I love it.
Oh yeah, it's raw. It is a raw game. He asked me a question. It was raw.
Yes.
You got to have the right people, or else this will be the most costly business ever, and you don't want it like that. I want it to be the most profitable, fun, extreme wealthy business for you, because that's what it does to millions of people that really know what they're doing, and it's amazing. It did it for me. That's all. And this can free your life. So again, I want you to join the Real Estate Deal Lab community. Come into the next live, the same link. All right. And we're going to be here Wednesday again at 7. Mike, you're going to drop all that gem right here, because I need that 0%, 18 months, and I need the credit stacking.
Yes, sir. Come with more, man. Trust me. I got way more for you guys. So next week, y'all tune in for next week, because I'm gonna give you guys something for sure to take home that you guys can action today, the same day.
Perfect. And I want to give a last thing for you, Daniel, and everybody in the chat. Action today. Go on the sites. Go on Zone, right? XOME. Go on GovDeals and just look at the properties, right? Go on Treasury.gov. Look at the properties and imagine renting or owning one of these to people, right? Imagine it, right? And that's where you start to build that mindset and that it's real. Okay. And I want you to get off there and get out there and do it, right? And I want you to be at the closing table with me next time. That's what I want. I want you to be like this, scribbling and be like, Nathaniel, we got a property, man. Like, yes, that's what I want. All right. So I want to see you all there. And thank you so much for joining, everyone. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Peace out.